It was supposed to be like any normal day. My friends and I just finished playing basketball and we were heading home. We didn't realize there was an officer behind us, and when we saw him, we pulled to the side to let him pass. He got out of his car. He shoved us against the fence and asked us questions like, "Who are you? What are you doing?" And I didn't know what to do. I just told him we were playing basketball and I was heading home, but he didn't believe me. He ended up putting us in handcuffs, put us in the car, and took us to the precinct. My mom told me to call the CCRB. I called them, filed a complaint against the officer, and they turned my complaint into an investigation.
Police misconduct affects us all, and my family experienced it firsthand. My name is Emerald Garner, the daughter of the late Eric Garner, and the CCRB was there for both me and my family. The agency launched an independent investigation, prosecuted the officer, and ultimately he was fired. The CCRB is an important resource for all New Yorkers, especially young people. If you encounter police misconduct, call the CCRB.
Every New Yorker has a right to be treated with respect during an encounter with the NYPD.
If you feel like that right has been violated at any time or any place,
Report it to the CCRB.
and we're working to get this message out to young people.
Police misconduct affects all of us.
And we want you to know that the CCRB is here for you.
The agency investigates police misconduct by the NYPD, so call them and report.
And we still have a long way to go in improving police interactions with young people.
But the city is committed to involving us in the conversation and making sure young people are a part of the solution.
We are members of the Youth Advisory Council at the CCRB. My time is right now. Tell me, are you ready for me? Better get ready for me. I'm here for the taking. I am coming. My time is right now. Tell me, are you ready for me? Better get ready, 'cause I'm coming.
Yo, welcome. Another episode of Raw and Uncut. Before we get started, first I want to say tag, share, like, comment. We got a dope show for you. It's part 2. I was on my sister's show on Monday. It got real crazy. It got real hectic. So we decided to do a part dose. So please welcome my big sister, Charmaine Lodehope.
Hi, everybody. What up, bro?
What up? So, it got kind of spicy.
Good evening, Matthew.
It got kind of spicy on the last show.
Hey, cuz. Mm-hmm.
It got real spicy. So we need to double that spice.
Let's go. I'm ready.
So, first of all, thank you for that amazing show on Monday. Thank you for being on here today. If you don't know, this is my biological sister. Y'all don't see the resemblance?
We look just alike.
Nah. So we left off and we were talking about crossing the lines and the barriers of friendships. But I want to talk because you're very big on sisterhood. You're very big on women empowerment. How can I put it? What made you say, you know what, this is something that I feel is missing, not just in the kingdom, but in life, and I want to tackle it?
When you have been friends with someone for a long time and then you go through something, it causes you to reflect, right? So not that I never really had many friends, but the friends that I did have, or the people that I considered sister and I held dear to my heart, there was a point where I went through things with them, and it caused us to separate. And in that separation, I realized that there are a lot of things that are lacking in the kingdom. Some things that on my part, I could have done better. And then other things that I went through with certain people that I considered my sister, that, you go through things and you feel like, nah, this person would never cross the line. This person would never hurt me. And then I started experiencing different things. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is not how sisterhood is supposed to be. And so once I realized what sisterhood wasn't, and how I want it to be, because you got to become the change that you want to see. Once I realized that, then I was like, oh no, I gotta change the game.
Cool. So a lot of people don't know you, but you're not shady, you're selective. So
A lot of people think I'm shady though.
I mean,
I think you said when you first met me, you thought I was shady.
I mean, but what people don't know about you is you're like one of the sweetest people on the earth. Like, you will give your last for your friends. You would ride for your friends. A lot of people don't know that.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to throw that in there. But right now we're living in a time where friendships ain't really valued. Your husband
We're not listening. We're not listening to my husband right now.
Your husband said he thinks that you are shady.
We're not listening to him.
Okay. So right now we're living in a time where we feel like friendships are taken for granted. So for you personally, like, what makes you say, okay, it's okay for me to call you my friend? Like, is there a vetting process? Is there, like, what do you do to say, you know what, this person is okay to welcome in my circle?
So before, I'm, like you said, I'm very selective, right? And so when meet people, yeah, I wasn't always the friendliest. I have a straight look on my face, and that's not because I don't like people. It's just because, like, you gotta see people for who they are. And I've learned, right, like my cousin said, I'm very, very cautious of people. I've always been that way. It's just a part of my growing up. It's a part of things that I've gone through in my childhood that
Hi,
made
mommy.
me cautious. Hi, Ma. So when I call somebody my sister, it's someone that I consider that has been true to me. Someone that, that I know without a shadow of a doubt that is going to hold me down. I'm very big on experiences and, being who you say you are. So if I start seeing something outside of that characteristic, and I've been guilty of being friends and staying friends with someone just because, I love them, even though I knew that they had been shady to other people. They weren't really the best, but I loved them. They were my friends. And so I stuck it out, and I continue to be friends. But at this point in my life, like, I'm big on integrity, morals. Like, if you hands down show me that you don't have those, we can't be sisters.
Okay, but I'm glad you said that. That was actually a great way to go into my next question. But you don't only have sisters, you have brothers also. So right. What makes, you know what, yo, this is my bro?
So I mean, I'll talk about my relationship with you guys, you and Derek and stuff. You guys really are true, right? And so I know for a fact, like, I never had to worry about y'all trying to hit on me, holler at me, no secret motives and intentions. And that is a big deal, because there are people that you meet, guys that you meet, and you could tell if they have that in them, to where they will try and cross the line with you. And so because I'm very selective with my female friends, I'm also selective with male friends because I don't want to get caught out there. And so at any moment, if I feel like I'm friends with a dude and I feel like he may cross the line or at any point he may disrespect my husband or a relationship, I will cut them off. I do not care.
So okay, so cool. So all right, that was cute. We did the little cute part now. So let's get to the tea.
Let's go.
So let me ask you this. Just a scenario. I just wanna see how you would react. So you're married. First of all, your husband is my brother from another mother. So let's just say there's a guy who says that he's your brother, he's your husband's brother, but yet sneaks into your inbox or your DM. How does Charmaine handle that situation? Go.
Here you go. Well, first of all, I feel like I set a standard to where people just know that I'm not about that life. However, there are still some people who don't care, right? So if I was presented with that, I would check the person. Now, if they continue or they still become disrespectful, at that point, I would tell my husband. Because I'm always cautious about myself. I'm really the type of person that is big on integrity. I don't want my good to be evil spoken of. I don't want anyone to feel like they're gonna be able to have something on me or tell somebody something about me. I've never I don't want my name in the streets. Some people don't care about their name being in the streets, about people, calling them out their names and people considering them being easy or they just another church girl. Nah, I've never been like that, and I'm never gonna be like that. Like if I feel like it's to the point where I can't handle it myself after I've tried, then yeah, I will tell my husband. I don't care who it is.
Cool. So we got y'all on here, please. I'm on here with my sister.
Yes.
We doing a part 2
Excellent.
to Monday's show. She trying to get comfortable because she knows.
Ready? Let's go.
It's about to go down. Wow. Let's keep that question up there. But please ask your questions. We're gonna get to whatever questions we can. We're gonna put them up here. We're gonna post them. But please like, comment, and share. So Matthew says, so you wouldn't tell him the first time?
No. First of all, I'm a grown woman. And I can handle myself. And so if he's my brother, I call him my brother, he calls my husband his brother, I feel like I should be able to check him. Now, if after I've checked him and he still feels like that's not enough and he want to go forward, then I will tell my husband, because I'm a big girl, I can handle myself, because I know me. So I don't leave room for the enemy. Some people say, "Oh, never say never." I know me.
So let me ask you a question. Because you wouldn't tell him the first time?
No.
Now, what if let's say the guy ran his mouth and was like, "Yeah, that's Charmaine Loho, like I'm gonna slide in her DMs," and it got back to your husband, but you didn't tell him because you checked it?
Then I would be honest and tell him why I didn't tell him, and I would show him the messages, receipts. That's why women keep receipts. And so when men try to think they slick, we got those receipts to pull them out, because ain't nobody finna be getting me caught up in nothing. So yeah.
So what if, let's say it was vice versa? Let's say it was somebody in your husband's DM.
Uh-huh.
And he didn't say nothing because he checked it. But you found out.
If he said he checked it, I would trust that he checked it. Now, if there's something that's an ongoing thing, then we would have to address that. I've been through a lot of experiences, and so
wait, put
the
Matthew's
old
question
Charmaine.
back.
The old Charmaine probably would have flew off the handle, went off. But when you mature and you go through certain things, you understand that you've got if trust is a part of relationships, right? And so I wouldn't automatically assume that he didn't. Now, if I keep hearing it, then I'm gonna address it, because if you say you check something, then something else keeps coming up. Now we got a problem, because what's really going on?
So Matthew, all right. First of all, Matthew, I need you to change your name. The fact that you added more to your name, I thought you were somebody else. Now you sound very Jamaican, Matthew Barrington Chester Backus. That sounds very West Indian. So he said you wouldn't feel weird after that, seeing him?
No. If he didn't cross the line, if he tried it and I cut it and I told him, and then he it was just like, nah, I'm sorry, whatever. Okay, fine. As long as he's not acting like out of the box with me, or he's not, because things happen. People are human, and I'm not going to be naive to say that people are not attracted to other people, right? But you've got to know how far you will allow a situation to go. So I feel like once you check the person, if he clearly came back, like if I seen him again and I noticed that he was still behaving funny, or if I felt uncomfortable even after that based on the way he was moving, then yes, I would have a conversation with my husband. I'm not going to ever put myself in a position where I feel weird or I feel uncomfortable. I would tell my husband, definitely, if the situation arose and I came in contact with him, or we were around each other, and now it's an uncomfortable situation.
So you said something that kind of triggered something. So are you openly telling me that married women are attracted to other men?
No, I'm not saying married women are attracted to other men.
No.
What I'm saying
you said.
I didn't say married. I said people.
No,
I'm talking general. No, I mean, listen, I know some people, and I ain't gonna say no name. Dre, you making me sick already. There are some people that see somebody and be like, all right, they look good. That's human nature. You're human.
Is it?
So I am not going to say that, if I seen somebody and they were handsome, I wouldn't say that. That's a lie, because that makes you not, just because you're married, can you not think that someone else is nice looking?
That's what I'm asking you.
No. I feel like if you see somebody that's nice looking, you see somebody that's nice looking. If me and my husband is together and he says, "Oh, she looks nice," I'm not automatically gonna be going crazy because he thinks that someone looks nice or someone is pretty. He's human.
That was a very good, politically correct response. Very, very good. So I want to delve into what I really want to talk about that we really didn't get to dive into. Look, right the way.
I've grown up. I've matured. Because old Charmaine would be like.
The only thing we could say is, "Oh, that's a nice wig. Look at that wig. It looked like it's not gonna fall off."
See that?
So, I really want to delve into the friendships of couples, because a lot of one of the first things that was said when we did the show on Monday was, "Oh, your mate should be your best friend. Your mate." What is the limit on that? Is there a limit?
Honestly, I feel like, yes, your husband should be, or your wife should be, your best friend. I totally agree with that, but sometimes that's not an automatic thing, right? Because you've got to there are different stages. And
I love you, Mom.
my mother. There are different stages in relationships, right? So oftentimes when you get into a relationship, sometimes it just goes from oh, we like each other, we're dating, to marry. And so my husband's here, and I'll talk about
And he disagrees with you.
what, that your husband? I feel like he could be my best friend, but not my only friend, right? Because I was going to get to that, right?
Yeah.
Because there is a level of friendship that you have to have. And when I say my best friend, meaning like with your best friend, you tell them everything. Like you want to feel comfortable and know that you can tell your significant other everything, and not feel like they're gonna judge you. Because, well, I don't believe in best friends, but that's another whole nother subject anymore.
No. It's all in relationship. Why don't
But
you? This is good. Why don't you believe in best friends?
because I went through something with someone that I considered a best friend, and that totally turned me off from the word best friend. Because again, I'm big on integrity, I'm big on morals, and I'm big on people not crossing boundaries and lines. And I'm not gonna go into what it was, but that really, like, it was many, like, over 20 years friendship. And I feel like at that point, when we went through what we went through, like, that's somebody that I held down,
keep that comment up.
That's somebody that I held down, somebody that I would give my last for, that I would look out for. And then once the breach happened, that really caused me to put up a wall. I was like, you know what? If this is what best friends are, and I'm not saying that, that type, like, for me, throw it out the window. I don't want another best friend. I have sisters and I have acquaintances, and that's where it is for me.
So, all right. So Dwayne says, but you can be someone's best friend and they not be yours. I think that's retarded.
Right. Because
like I think that's weird. Like I don't see myself calling somebody my best friend and it's not reciprocated.
Exactly.
Like, so I'm going to tell you everything about me, but you not going to share something. Nah, that's too one-sided for me.
Nah, but sometimes, honestly, it be like that. Like, because I kind of felt like that, because I felt like I had, like, this person was my best friend. But then when I found out things that they were doing, I found out, like, these are things that best friends would never do. Like, that's something I would never do to you. So as a best friend, it's like, were you really my best friend? And right, it does happen, because you could honestly feel like you're really holding someone down, and then after look at the situation or look at the friendship overall and realize that you was giving more than that person.
Oh, and so we're talking in the sense of, let's say you and Chantel was friends, but you're pouring more into the friendship than she is. So it's like, yeah, she can count on me, but I can't count on her.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And we find that happens, because at the end of the day, it's sad to say, but some women are very immature, and they.
Oh, that's good, Matthew Barrington Chester. That is so Jamaican. Like, you can't tell me he not West Indian with a name like that. Hope he got his papers before Trump tried to get him out of here. But what you were saying?
I just lost my train of thought. Here we go. He says, what did he say? Friendship tried in the flame, not the fame. Right.
Oh, that was deep. That was very. We shall over. My sis Mo is on here. So,
what up, Mo?
So I mean, one of the main foundations I believe for friendship. Wait, go back to the comment before that. Sometimes it comes about unknowingly. Miss Neely, can you explain that a little more? I think I know where you're going, but I don't want to assume. So, true
My
friends
godmom, yeah.
glow in the dark times. Hi, godmom.
You're absolutely right, Matthew. That hands down is the truth. And I'm a real true friend, true sister. If I say that I love you, I got your back. That's what I mean. Now, I'm not going to say that there weren't times where I didn't gossip or I didn't, say things that I shouldn't have said, right? Because these things, we're human and these things happen. But when you know better, you do better. And I've realized that in the darkest moments, in my darkest times, when I really needed a friend, the people or the person that I deemed my best friend wasn't really my best friend in the end. And so he's right. The dark times, those times in your life where you really need that person that said they would hold you down, and then you look around and they're nowhere to be found, or they're behind you stabbing you in the back when you really thought that they rooting for you. It's really hard. Friendships is not the same anymore.
So let me ask you this, because like I said earlier in the show, you're like big on sisterhood. What do you say to the friend, especially women? What do you say to the friend who, you kind of establish what you want your friendship to be?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, girl, always keep it real with me, always be honest with me. But then that happens. That moment comes where you gotta be that friend where you gotta keep it real, but then you notice there's like a change in the relationship once you know what I'm saying, whether it's her leaving somebody, or it could just be maybe the way she's moving, how she's living her life, and you like, yo, girl, like, you should be better than that. We should be better than that. What do you do in a situation like that? Like, is it something that, and sometimes I feel like the truth can cause you to lose a friend. You know what I'm saying? Is that real friendship if the person can't handle what they've asked you for?
Absolutely not. If you call somebody your friend and they go to you or they come to you and they tell you, what it is based upon how your behavior. I feel like as a friend, you're my friend. So automatically I should be able to handle what you're saying. But a lot of times we say we want that friend, but then when that friend owns up to what you've asked for, you really can't handle it. It's like me saying, I want, I don't care what it is. Tell me, I don't care how bad it hurts me. And then you come to me and be like, yo, you living beneath your privilege. What are you doing? You're messing up. And now I'm like, what? Like, you supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to be on my side. We've got to get past wanting to have those yes friends in our life. A lot of times, if women are honest, we want those friends that's going to be on our side. Yeah, we want you to hold us down, but I want you to hold me down as long as you're not telling me about myself, as long as you're not calling out my flaws, as long as you with me when I'm willing to do wrong, as long as you bigging me up when I'm saying the wrong thing. And that's not friendship. We've got to get back to being honest about what we expect out of friendship, out of our relationships with women, because we automatically know that women know women. And a lot of times we're petty, we're immature, we do things to people, to each other that's not cool, but we can't handle it.
So, first of all, these comments is amazing. Go back to Monique's comment. I don't want to keep looking down at my phone. Real friendship respects honesty. Now, that's a to me, that's a double-edged sword. That's like a catch-22, because I think sometimes friendships are not, especially with women. And it's not. I just feel like men, we deal with each other different. And
Nah, I
say
always say that. Men they get past stuff.
Yeah, because your husband yells at me all the time, and I don't take it personal. It's just I just realized this is how he talks. You know, Derek is more of the calm one. You know, he's like baby Jesus. So it's like, yo, I can't get mad at him. And you know, Steph, he's always on the millions, so he doesn't even count. Like he always has a preacher voice on. So with Steph, it's like I don't know whether I should put out my Bible or my prayer order. But with women, it's different because you do yell, Dwayne. With women, it's different because I feel like there's so many emotions involved. All friends don't deserve 100% of you. There are different. Okay, so Lenore, that's because she tapped in. She must be a prophetess. That's what I was getting to as far as the honesty and respect part of what Monique was saying. Is there a level of where you decide when you should jump in based on your level of friendship?
We've got, as women, you have to know the friends that, and Tia's going right in the vein. Hey, cuz she's going right in the vein of where I'm going.
Come through, Tia. How about Shaya?
Like my cousin said, I think people have purpose in our lives. Can you put that back up? I was reading that. I think people have purpose in our lives. Sometimes we place people in parts of our lives that they weren't called to. And I was going in that direction because I said it in one of my other shows. It's okay to put people in their proper places in your life. You have to, because everybody is not supposed to be welcome in your house. Everybody that you meet, you don't got to be at the dinner table with them. And so we make the mistake oftentimes because females are emotional. We like to be connected to other people. And so because we like that connection, because we love hard, because we are emotional beings, and we feed off of each other for strength and things of that nature, we've got to be careful with having people in our lives and feeling like, oh, they're permanent. Everybody is not a permanent friend. Some people are in your life for a reason and a season. And just like we want to discern what our boyfriends and husbands are doing when we're not around, that's the same type of discernment we got to have towards our sister girls and people that we consider friends. Because a lot of times, if we take the time out to get to know people and really know them before we inviting them in our houses, before we inviting them around our men, before we're inviting them around our families, then we would have less heartache. Because we take the time to get to know people for who they really are and not for who we want them to be. A lot of times we want people to be who we want them to be in our lives, and that's not who God called them to be for us.
So let's flip the script. Let's I don't really want to deal with the drama. There are some who know how close we are, but there are some on here who may not know how close we are. I want to really deal with the positive of the opposite sex being friends.
Okay.
So let's when did the Holy Ghost reveal to you that Dre Rumble was your brother? That was a serious question. That was a serious, because you super saved. That's why I don't go to y'all house all the time, because y'all niggas is prophetic in there.
What?
I'm just saying, the babies too.
I can't. Honestly, I know that you were.
Because she didn't like me at first, y'all. I just want y'all to know that. Go ahead. Finish.
That's a lie. What are you talking about? First of all, I think the first interaction that I really had with you was when we all went to dinner, the 6 of us. You and Chantel, Me and Dwayne and Derek and Fanta.
What was that?
We went to Sweet Science, and because that's the first time I really interacted with Chantel. Because all before that, I knew Dre because he was friends with my husband, but Dre didn't want me and his wife to become friends.
And you see why?
Right, because he said that we were too much. Anywho, right, ginger ale. So, back to the question that you asked. And so from that moment, like just a conversation. If I felt like it was like a non-judgment zone. You were yourself, and I was able to be myself. I didn't feel like I had to break out my Bible and have a biblical conversation in order to prove my in order to prove where I am in God. Right. It was like you respected me for who I was, and you still allowed me to be myself. Just because I was the first lady, you didn't look at me like, oh, she shouldn't be saying certain things, or I can't laugh, I can't joke, I can't let my hair down. And that a lot of times, that's big to me. Like if I'm around you and I can't be myself and I can't, laugh and joke, then I don't think we really gonna be able to have that friendship. You allowed me to be myself without judgment. Next, you was always that brother, right? So there was just something about you that allowing me to be myself, that I knew like there was a part of you that held me accountable to be a sister. And you allowed me you showed me that you were honest and that you weren't that type of person that was just gonna sugarcoat. You were honest. You were who you are. If you felt like I was wrong, or if you felt like I was saying something that was out of pocket, you would tell me and not be afraid to say, "Nah, sis, I think that's wrong," or "That's out of order." And for me, again, that's big. If you can't be honest with me, then we can't be friends.
And that's a fact. So I'm gonna be transparent real quick. So like I have a different dynamic with Charmaine than I do with my other sisters, only because I honestly I don't know what it is. So me and her we would argue. We could argue. Charmaine would be like, "Yo, you wrong, bro. You wrong." And I'm like, "Nah, F that. I'm not wrong. Nah, nah, nah." And I would let Charmaine have it. And then the next day I'm texting her like, "I'm sorry."
Facts.
I'm sorry. But I think what makes this, because like I think what makes this unique is I think sometimes I talk to you more than I talk to Dwayne.
Maybe.
Like I think.
Yeah, because he's not
like I think I talk to you more than
that's because I be having to put you in your place. And so, Dwayne is not good. He's good on that, right?
And so I think like that's the stigma that people get twisted, is when you have friends of the opposite sex, right? So like I've heard Dwayne sometimes talks to Chantel. And I think that was always the thing. Like it always seems like the guys, like y'all be feeling like we not hard on the guys, and we feel like y'all not hard on the girls. But I've heard the way Dwayne talks to Chantel and Fanta and Mo. What is his nickname? What is his nickname?
They call him Joe Jackson.
The man beats us. Pause. So I think a lot of people feel like it is impossible to be that close. It is impossible to have these kinds of friendships where it's the opposite sex. There's nothing on the table. But I want to ask you, how big does accountability play in you choosing and examining your friendships?
Accountability is very important to me. I feel like if you can't be accountable to someone who you consider your brother or your sister, that's a big issue, because you need that person in your life. You need that person that you can go to, or even when you don't feel like you can go to that person, that they are able to still put you in your place and tell you when you're wrong. Accountability keeps you grounded. It keeps you on track to know that you're going to make the right choices and the right decisions. And so I purpose to have friendships and become friends with people that I can be accountable to, and that can and vice versa. Because I always want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm saying the right thing. Again, integrity is very important to me. Accountability is very important to me. Why? Because I've been through too much. I've seen too much. And so at this point in my life, it's like, I missed that comment. At this point in my he didn't mean it, Joe, but you should make him count a bag around. Accountability is important because, like I said, it keeps you grounded. It really, when you are going to go off course, you need that person to say, what are you doing? No, you're messing up. A lot of times people don't want to be accountable, and that's why I feel like female relationships don't last. Like, you're my brother. I know that there have been times when I've had to be accountable to you. I've called you and said, yo, bro, what do you think about X, Y, and Z? And you checked me and said, no, this is wrong. This is why you shouldn't say this or this. And we need those people, because then that helps us become better. How you having friendships or calling somebody your brother and sister and you not accountable to them? They can't tell you nothing. You're not going to receive anything that this person has to say to you. That's not a friendship.
So what at what point do you feel like it has to be a specific time? Do you feel like it has to be, at what point do you feel like you can sit there and say, well, before we even go there, to you, what is the difference between friendship and then like brother and sisterhood?
So if I just call somebody my friend, then they're somebody that if I see, we're cool, or if they need to talk about something, we could talk. We could even hang out. I have friends that are just my friends, and we hang out or whatever. But if I call someone my brother or my sister, those are people that I allow in my home. Those are people that I allow around my children. Those are people that I allow into around my family, right? People that my brothers and sisters, I will take down south with me to my family reunions and things of that nature. People, like I said, at this point, people
so I'm still a friend then, because I've never been to the family reunion yet.
It didn't happen yet. What are you talking about?
All right.
See, this is why I always got to put him in his place, y'all. But friends, friends are people that are just my friends. They're just that. They're my friends. If I can, I'll look out for them. If they call me, they want to talk. Yeah, like we could talk. If they invite me somewhere and I can do it, I'll do it. But my brothers and sisters, I go above and beyond for, because I know that they would do the same thing for me. Those are people that have been tested, tried, we're close, like I said, I have invited them in my home, around my children, my friends, because I'm very careful now who I allow in my space.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of that being said. So when people say that, what is this specific space? Like, what is it? Something that you're supposed to honor? Is it something that, you know what, I need this to give me my peace, so I can't let everybody in? Like, how do you decipher who's allowed in your space?
So if
Because
you,
you're a first lady, you're supposed to like everybody
because
politically.
yeah, see,
So
it's
no,
like a
so
thin
yeah, so
line.
as a
It's a
first
thin
lady,
line. So as a
how do you allow um how do you select that? How do you say, yo, because I don't care who you are, even as a saved person, even as an anointed person, you need to be able to let your hair down. So as a face of a ministry, or one of the faces of the ministry, and not, you don't only represent your church, but you represent your husband, your pastor. How do you pick, yo, these are the people that can be in my space because of who you are in the kingdom?
So when my husband started out in ministry, um I had people that I was friends with for years, that I just, because they were my friends, I felt like, oh, we have years of friendship. That's my friend. We're close. I Because they were already there, I deemed them as, oh, that's my inner circle, right?
Mhm.
Those are the people that I can count on. That's the person that, I know would hold me down. But as I grew, as I went along in ministry, let me say, as I matured, I understood that just because you have years in does not mean um automatically that they are a part of where God is taking you, right? And so people automatically feel like, because we've been down for each other a long time, that automatically makes a connection. And that's how I felt. I had to learn that as a first lady, I had to step back and really feel like that thing that people say, like, it's a lonely road as a first lady. For a season, it really was, because people that I thought was my friends and that I was close to, I learned was not. And so it caused me to put a wall up, and then I did not want to be friends with anybody. I didn't want to be around anybody, because not, and it wasn't so much, it was because I had given out a lot. I have said a lot. And you've got to be careful when being a first lady that you're not saying too much. And because I was young in ministry, I was a new first lady. I didn't really know everything. I was these people that I thought were my ride or dies, I was saying too much. I was giving too much. And so there was a fine line. And then they in turn used that on me. And there were things that were said. Oh, she's deep. Oh, she thinks she better. Oh, and it was like, I'm just trying to really find my way. And I'm not saying I was 100%, because I had to learn that you can't share everything with everybody. And so that caused me to take a step back. I lost a lot. I lost the people that at that point I felt like was my accountability people, my sisters. I lost them all. And there weren't many, but I'm not friends or close to any of them anymore. And that hurt me. That caused a breach in my trust in sisterhood, in my trust with women. And that caused me to go before God and learn how to become a friend. I had to learn that. See, because a lot of times we want to point fingers at the people who did us wrong, and we never want to look at ourselves as women. Just talking about as a woman, as a first lady. I had to look at myself as a first lady and see the error of my ways. Where did Charmaine mess up? What could Charmaine have done better? Because yes, they were my sisters, but they also was in ministry with me. And so things that I shouldn't have been talking about or shouldn't have been saying, I was. And when I felt like I was betrayed in certain areas in that friendship or in that sisterhood, it caused me to, yes, become bitter. But after time, it caused me to really look at myself. And in turn, caused me to say, I've got to become the change I want to see. If I want to have a sister that's integral, I got to be integral.
Gotcha.
If I don't want to have, if I'm mad about someone gossiping about me, what about the times I gossiped about other people? If I don't like the things that people are saying about me, it caused me to get down on my knees and say, God, take all of this out of me, or take all the backbiting, all the gossiping, all the hell raising, all the laughing at other people. I had to go before God, Dre, and ask God to take that out of me, because that was a part of me that I did not like. And if we're honest in maturing, we've got to go before God and allow him to break us. And so when I started Sanctity of Sisterhood 7 or 8 years ago, and I know I'm being real on the Raw and Uncut, but when God gave it to me, God snatched it from me just that quick, because I wasn't who I said I was. I wasn't who I was preaching about. At that point, I wasn't the sister that I was screaming that I wanted to be, that everybody else should be. So God was like, oh, really? No, you're not that. And so I believe that he caused these things in my relationships with women because he wanted to show me. He wanted to show me that I was being fake, that I was being phony, that I wasn't being honest, that I wasn't being a true friend, that I wasn't being a true sister. And so after God, it took from 2010 up until 2020 for God to make me be who I needed to be in order to deliver women and show women that it is possible to become who God really wants you to be. You just got to be honest. And so God had to break me. He broke me with my friendships with people that I call and that were near and dear to me. He broke me in my marriage. He broke me in every area of my life to where it caused me to just walk by myself. And honestly, and I think Fanta put something up there. Me and Fanta went through something, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk in a minute. But I feel like this is about to help somebody. Fanta and I went through something because of someone else, right? And she was mad at me because she felt like as a sister, I didn't have her back. Listen, I had her back. I did my part, but it caused a breach in Fanta and our relationship. We weren't friends for a season, and I think it was like 5 years that we weren't friends. We weren't talking to each other. We weren't talking to each other. There were times where I know she posted subs because that's just where she was, and I had to eat that. But it was all right. But you know what? When God begins to show you and you really want to change and you really want to become the woman that God has for you, and you sick and tired of being petty, it will cause you to change. And even if you feel like you're not wrong in a situation, because saving the friendship is worth more than being right, you'll go back to that person. So now me and friends are friends. We good. We sisters. We back as if nothing ever happened, because I allow God to change me.
Bless your heart. 2 more crazies to the bunch. 2 more. First of all, if I had hoop triggers, I would have attempted to back you up, and we could have went into a praise right there, but we're gonna do we got what, 6 minutes left. I want to do a quick word association, so I'm gonna say the word, and whatever comes to mind, whatever comes to mind, you
Post
say
my
it. All right.
cash up, I can.
All right. Monique.
The person that challenges me the most in my sisterhood.
Fanta.
The woman that pushes me the most in my sisterhood.
Sparkle.
Sparkle is the one that pushes me but challenges me to continue to be everything that I profess in sisterhood.
Jada wants to know, what about her?
I love my niece Jada. Jada is one. Jada is gonna be an awesome young lady. I'm excited about her. You know why? Because Jada is she loves her mom, and I love that about her. She's super sweet, and she's super sweet. Jada's super sweet.
We talking about the same Jada, my daughter?
Yes, she's super sweet, but she knows who she is. And if she continues to know who she is, she's gonna be all right. Right, Chantel, you're a little bit of both. You really are. Monique is all wrapped in.
Wait,
Monique is all wrapped in. That's my Mo.
Yo, I love Mo.
Like,
we have such a love-hate relationship.
I love my Mo because she challenges me. She said what she want to say, and I'll be like, Mo,
Oh my God, yo, and I be thinking I be bad, and then I hear Mo talk, and I be like, yo, you know what? I'm PG-13 compared to Mo.
Derek, he's the Jesus brother. No. That's Steph. Derek is the fun brother. Derek is the brother that is gonna keep it real, right?
He's the big brother that sneaks you into the club.
Right. He's not. He doesn't have many words, but the words that he says means a lot. Like when he says something, you know exactly what he means. There's no second guessing. There's no like, oh, I thought he meant. No, what he says is what he means, and there's no mistakes about that. Steph is my Jesus brother. Steph is the super saved brother that is always gonna find scripture on why.
It's annoying.
Steph is always going to find scripture on why he feels how he feels about a thing. Yo, and I like that because, for all the people who have always said I'm super deep when I'm not really deep. I just really am, finding my way. And in that, I'm me. And anyway, I try to encourage people. Yeah, if there's a scripture, I'm gonna give it, because so in natural, so in spiritual. Like, I'm always gonna give those two entities. But Steph, I love him because he can be fun, but he's serious. He's no nonsense. He's always gonna lead you back to Christ, and I need that.
I hate that, but I guess. Right, Mo? Yo, that's it.
What did Mo say?
She put insert arrow. Yes, sis. Dre or Drew. They say he's two different people, so I don't know.
I don't know. Dre is, yeah, they are two different people.
Chantel says that all the time.
They are. Dre is the brother that is going to hold you accountable. He is going, Dre is the person that I know without a shadow of a doubt that got my back 100. That is always going to tell me when I'm right and when I'm wrong. You don't put up with, you don't allow me to be mediocre. You don't allow me to just say what I want to say. Like, you'll allow me to vent to you, but in the end, you're always honest with me. Drew, on the other hand, Drew don't care. Drew's very angry. Drew will back me up. Drew will be like, yeah. But Dre is always gonna direct me back to the reality of who I am in the kingdom, in my marriage,
Fanta,
with
I
my
hate
family,
you.
and with my sisters. What did Fanta say? Because I can't see.
Dwayne is gonna post it. I'm pretty sure in a little while. But I just want her to know she's so stupid. But he's your husband, but he's your brother in Christ, Dwayne.
I really can't.
That is so Jewish.
That is. But yeah, I thank God for honest and true friends, because that's truly hard to find. At this point in my life, I feel like God has blessed me with amazing people. Like, and it's not just you guys. I have Lady Yvonne Jones. I have Nakazi. I think she's on here. I have Artel, my Telly.
Wait. No, who?
Her name is Nakazi. Bishop Ford's
Nakazi.
That's my boo. I have Artel. Like, these are my Raven, Kia, Shamel,
I'm
Kim.
praying for Raven. Jesus, I'm praying for
Raven.
Raven.
This is, and then I have a friend that I've known since I was in Morningstar, Shaniqua. Like, these are people that God has blessed me with, that I can honestly say hold me down, make me continuously be consistent in every way. I really push hard to be the change I want to see, because I value these women that I mentioned. I value them. I love them. My big sisters, Cynthia McGinnis and Lady McCants, like, these women keep me grounded. Y'all all keep me grounded. And I know for a fact at this point in my life, I would not be who I am. And I'm not where I want to be, but I'm far from where I used to be. So listen. Listen.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for taking time out of your booked and busy schedule, just to spend some time with your baby brother. Well, little brother. Steph is the baby. With your little brother. Thank you for an amazing show on Monday, and then thank you for continuing last minute. To spend some time with your brother. You already know how much I love you. You know what you mean to me. You know, you and the other three, I will get locked up for.
We don't want you to get locked up, though.
Yeah, I just needed I just needed to put that out there, though. That don't trip. God is not through me yet, but thank you so much. You have an amazing show. Please tune in on Monday nights at 9 p.m. to my sister's show. She is doing an amazing job, not just with her ministry and church, but the platform that God has given her. She has the PG-13 conversations that I have, so she's the PG version of Raw and Uncut. Do you have any lasting words before we get up out of here? Is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to promote?
Yes, please. If, like Dre said, please like our official page, The Sanctity of Sisterhood. It's on Facebook. I'm on every Monday night at 9 p.m. Thank you for tuning in. He calls it the PG-13 version. I thank God for the platform that he has given me, because I just want to have real conversation. We've done enough of dancing and shouting and laying before the Lord, and we can never do enough of that. But it's time for us to have real conversations, sit down and talk. I said it Monday, when you go to a therapist, and I'm not a therapist, but when you go there, you want to lay on that couch and you want to be able to be real and talk it out. So Sanctity of Sisterhood is a place for real sisterhood talk. We're becoming better together. It is my endeavor that the things that I went through, that I'm bringing it and I'm talking about it and I'm sharing it. It's not about me solely. It is a movement. It's not about Charmaine, but Charmaine will be giving nuggets. I will be discussing things that I went through, things that I've been delivered from. So join me on Monday night at 9 p.m. for Sanctity of Sisterhood. I am my sister's keeper. What about you? Thank you for having me, Dre. Love you, bro.
That was Dwayne. Leave her right there, because you know we a brother and sister show. That was a long promo. I didn't expect you to say all that, but
yeah, because you was like 1 second on mine. You know, that's good.
But once again, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for lending your husband to us and his amazing talents. He runs this, so shout out to Dwayne Lord-Hope for
shout out to my husband,
the backbone and back engineer of all of this. Join us tomorrow at the Barclays Center from 6 to 8. We're doing a rally, and Bishop Designate Elect Lord-Hope will be the keynotes.
All of that.
All of that.
All
will
of
be
that.
The keynote speaker. And we're still fighting for social justice. We are our sisters' keepers. Say her name, say his name. And we out here. Like my sis Fanta said, it's a movement. So tune in Monday, Sanctity of Sisterhood. And next Thursday, Raw and Uncut, where my mommy and my brothers will be the special guests. And we're going to talk about her raising 3 ghetto boys in Brownsville.
Wow.
And still be getting us to
Can't
Sunday
wait
school.
for that. I love your mama.
Getting us to Sunday school and all that on time. Please check out my sister Fanta Harvey's vlog or blog. Is it a vlog or it's a blog? Right?
It's a blog.
Check out her blog, Shaken for Restoration, I believe it is. On Instagram. And we love you. We out.
We out. Thank you for doing
Have these visions in my mind of a gift that's still inside. Can't believe my eyes. The moment has